right, everybody, welcome back to the 725 podcast. I'm Ken Camarillo here with my co-host, Rosemary Dan. How are you,
Ken.
Rosemary?
I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. You like my shirt?
I love it.
It's
Very,
Amazon.
Very, Hawaiian. Not Timo.
No.
Oh, good.
No.
You haven't got
I call it, they ask me what I'm wearing, I say Bezos. I'm wearing
Bezos.
Bezos. Sounds kind of cool, doesn't it?
It does. You're going to Venice? For your wedding, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. Well, we always have great guests, Long
know.
Beach folks, right?
And this gentleman, I've been chasing him for a while to be a guest on our show because
I know.
he's really dynamic. I've actually attended one of his seminars, and I was impressed. And it was one of those where I walked out of there really geared up and thinking a lot of things about business.
Yes.
And that's why I'm so happy we have him on today.
So I did a little research on Paul, and I discovered that this guy is a madman when it comes to content creation.
Wow.
He is a speaker, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
He is a mindset coach, and he is just kind of a social media monster. He's all over Long Beach. So let's welcome Paul.
Paul
Forchione.
Thank you, guys.
Fortune cookie.
Hey,
Yes,
hey,
I know.
Ken,
Yeah.
I also like your shirt.
Thank you.
Bezos.
I'm wearing
is that
Bezos.
is that the Amazon version? Bezos, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, and as they probably sold 10 million of them, they say who wore
Exactly.
it best. I would say you did.
Thank
Ken.
you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys for having me on and such a warm bio. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks for being here and the whole thing. I mean, you're like Mr. Long Beach, dude.
Yeah. I had a business coach about 5 years ago, and really wanting to ramp up my business, and he challenged me to be the honorary mayor of Long Beach.
Oh, I love that.
So I took that to heart, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay a consultant,
Right?
you might as well do what he tells you to do, right?
Exactly.
That would be the smart thing to do. Yeah.
Exactly. Or why are you paying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So by that, I started my podcast. It's a Long Beach thing. Started a Facebook group called It's a Long Beach thing. Started an Instagram account. It's a Long Beach thing. And started joining the chambers. And I really got involved with the chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it everywhere. So I've been looking at your content. It's fantastic stuff. I love your snippets, educational, motivational, and so on and so forth. But I want to back up just a little bit and kind of start from the beginning. So are you a local kid?
Yes, I went to St. Maria Goretti like Rosemary
Oh, that's
did.
right.
Oh, you went there too?
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't know that. Oh, my God.
And
Okay.
then transferred to St. Anthony's in downtown
Okay.
Long Beach and when I got in high school.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All righty. And so you have been around for a while in Long Beach. You're a beach kid. So tell me about this idea, the inspiration of the mindset. Because I saw you in your writings, you talk about your mom's mindset. Give us some background on that. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I was born with what's called cerebral palsy, and if you guys don't know or your viewers don't know, it's lack of oxygen at the brain at labor.
Okay.
And as a result of this lack of oxygen in the brain at labor, it can leave one side of the body paralyzed. It can affect your speech. There's different severities to it.
Okay.
And thank goodness mine wasn't as bad now, but at the time, I wasn't moving the right side of my body very much, and my mom was obviously concerned about that. So she took me to the doctors to get testing.
Okay.
And that's where I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. And this doctor thought it was so severe that he thought I would never, ever be able to walk, nor be able to communicate. I wouldn't be able to be verbal.
Right.
Wow.
And it would be a good idea to get me in a wheelchair. And I've had many, many conversations with my mom about that.
Okay.
When she heard that diagnosis, right? I mean, I'm the firstborn, right?
Yeah.
So the firstborn has this problem. I mean, that's got to rock a mom's psyche.
Right.
She told me that she cried herself to sleep that night, wondering what was going to be of her baby boy.
Right.
But she did tell me the next day, when she was getting me ready to start the day, I'm an infant. I can't talk at this time. Obviously, they didn't think I was ever going to talk. But she said that I gave her a look if to say, Mom, don't let this be my story. I want to walk and I want to talk. And that mama bear inside of her started raging.
Wow.
Where she got 4 other opinions. Finally found a physician willing to help. And with the final physician that said, yes, I can work with him.
Right.
I was doing therapy 5 to 6 times a week, doing different things, doing speech therapy, all the things.
Okay.
And by age 2 or 3, I was able to walk and I was talking.
Wow.
A feat that four other doctors said I wasn't going to do, I was doing.
Your mom is your hero.
She absolutely is.
Wow.
Never
Yeah.
underestimate the power of Mama Bear.
Yeah.
I
Never.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the inspiration for Mindset Coach.
That was
Hardly.
that was kind of the start of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go further in my story, I can give that to you.
Yeah.
So, part of having cerebral palsy, you gotta move it. You move it or you lose it.
Okay.
So all through my life, I've had to play sports and different things to keep the mobility going on that right side of the body. So my mom would put me in various sports, and I remember particularly when I was 5, my mom put me in to soccer, and at the time I had really limited mobility, especially on the right side of my leg there. Where I would probably only be able to run 25 to 50 yards before my leg would give out. So basically, I'm standing there where these kids are playing soccer around me. And I remember one day I was kind of fed up with playing soccer because I was been made fun of and I'm really not having any fun just standing there. And I remember what my mom told me because it stuck with me to this day. She said, I told her I didn't want to play anymore. And she said, Paul, if you don't want to play soccer more, that is okay. But you need to honor your commitments.
Aw.
So you have to finish out that soccer season,
Right.
and if you don't want to play soccer after that, that is your prerogative. And
Right.
and I'm 45 years old, and I haven't played soccer since. But I've honored my commitments.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That is awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Chrissy?
So this idea of honoring commitment and being, having that stick-to-itiveness mindset, right? I watched a couple of your clips, and you're a speaker, and there's one topic you speak on is take back your pen.
Yeah.
Tell me
wow.
about that.
Yeah. So I thought about that. I was thinking about different things, and it was rewrite your story.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, rewrite your story, but you need a pen to write that story. And I feel that we are all authors of our lives.
Okay.
And it's up to us as individuals to write the story that we want it to be written,
Right.
not allowing other people to write your story. Because in middle school at Goretti, I was having other people write my stories. And it wasn't until I took back my pen and started writing my story, my life started changing in a positive direction. And I feel like
love that.
everybody, that goes for everybody. You have the power.
Right.
Take back that pen
Right.
and write the story on how you want it written.
Right.
That's such a great concept because so many, me personally, my mother never worked. My father was a mailman, so when I tried to be more entrepreneurial, it was finding my way.
Yeah.
And it's almost like everyone in my school was more oriented towards, go get a regular job, that kind of a thing. And it's the script you're handed.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that outside, like you see something like, oh, our neighbor was an entrepreneur and I, bonded with that neighbor or somebody, that's where the mentorship thing is so important. And whether that mentorship comes informally or formally, it's so important to have that opportunity to say, you don't have to read the script that you were handed. You can take back that pen.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you went to Fullerton.
Yep.
And your degree is in.
I did too.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we're following each other. I'm following your footsteps.
Yeah, Cal State Fullerton,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I have.
Paul.
Yeah.
Kindred spirits, sir.
I have a degree in psychology and radio, television, film.
I'm communications.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You should really be sitting over here.
Yeah.
Alumni.
Yeah.
I love that.
Go Titans.
What's it? You,
Yeah.
me, and Kevin Costner, right?
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, kind of fast forward now. You got a few businesses, right? Call to action.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
Yep.
us about that.
So the call to action, I work with a lot of athletes, a lot of high school and college athletes, and I also work with sales professionals and
Okay.
people in business.
Okay.
And it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of similarities, especially with the sales and the sports side
Right.
of things.
I was thinking that.
yeah.
There's that's sort of the motivational thing, the not giving up, the striving and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you hear a lot of no's in sales. You hear way
And
more no's.
athletics.
And
Yeah.
athletics,
Right.
same way. You hear a lot. It's that negativity that you got to turn around. I always tell everybody that it's really easy to have a positive attitude when things are going your way. Everybody can. La-di-da. Things are going my way. I feel great. But it takes guts and courage to have a great attitude when things aren't going your way. And that's where the magic happens, right? When the adversity happens, where are you? What are you doing? And for me, with both working with sales professionals and in sports, with the athletes, it's kind of the same thing. Where's your passion there? Do you have that passion to keep going forward? If the passion is strong enough, you'll get over that wall. You'll do whatever it takes. But if it's not, you'll find that excuse, say, I don't know about this. And that's okay. But I think it's part of our duty as a human being to find our passion, whether that be in our personal lives or in our careers. Finding something that lights us up is important.
I have a thought this is someone I was talking to about following your passion, and they sort of pushed back a little and said, it's also your competence. How do you balance your passion and your competence and make sure they're both in the right place?
Define competence.
But that's what, the athlete that's struggling, when do they come to the point to continue or to find another avenue? And I think, and I'm going to put this back in a business prospect. I mean, we all have that soul searching of, when things are going great, everything's great. When things aren't, and I've seen often just through the city and through SCORE, people hanging on to something that's not working. And that's the almost most difficult thing in the world. And I was trying to balance passion and competence in that area. Maybe that's an ugly area, but it's an existing area.
It is an existing area, and it's a tough road. But I feel the awareness has to come from the individual.
Absolutely.
I don't think
no one can tell you.
It's not my job. It's not. It's their job to discover that. Let's go to the sports route for a second. Yeah, maybe that person's not going to be playing Major League Baseball, or maybe that person's not going to play college ball because percentages wise that they're probably not. But maybe there's something in that sport they can find, they can do that they find a passion for, and they never would have found it if they didn't go for their dream of playing that sport. And same thing with the business, right? You go down this route, it's not working, but you find something else that lights you up. And you wouldn't have found that if you didn't go down that route in the first place.
Great answer.
Yeah.
And I love that because that's happened to me so many times.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I start that? And then all of a sudden I found something that I never would have found had I not done that.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in business, I hear you about that alignment or that kind of parallel thought, right? Performance, excelling, being competent, right? Having the skill set and things like that. And in the notes that you handed over to us earlier, you talked about kind of defining or maybe myth busting that notion of a 40-hour work week for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And can you kind of break that down for us a little bit about what you see as a coach? It could be an athlete, it could be a business person, but what break that down for us a little bit.
Okay, so I work with a lot of realtors and loan officers, so I'll go on that route, and especially realtors.
Okay.
You have these people that work 9-to-5 jobs, and you see realtors, right? And you see them traveling around the city, doing different events. You're like, wow, that's really cool. I hear this all the time when I talk to somebody that wants to be a new realtor. And their answer kind of tells how good of a realtor they're going to be. If their answer is, I want to have more time, I don't know if you're going to be that good of a realtor. You know what I mean? Because your weekends, that's your bread and butter.
Yeah,
Weekends are your bread and butter as a realtor, right? You give up weekends when you're a realtor. I mean, maybe on a Monday you can run your errands.
Right.
But
not Tuesdays, that's caravan day.
Yeah, exactly. Depend on Thursdays if you go to Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's probably a caravan every day of the week.
True.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the benefit of a 9-to-5 job is you clock in at 9.
Right.
You have your lunch break at noon.
Right.
And then you leave at 5.
Yeah.
And
very structured.
And it's really structured.
Right.
Exactly. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, you got to create that structure.
Right.
And if you don't, you're in trouble.
So how do you handle those conversations with those folks, your clients who are maybe there's a little more romanticism in how they see, their future as a realtor or as a whatever,
Mhm.
insert title here.
Yeah.
But are you direct? I mean, how do you handle that conversation? Gently? I mean, I'm curious because that doesn't seem real. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like they know what the hell they're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. Well, I think in that situation, I match their personality.
Okay. Okay.
So most of the time on something like that, let's use the realtor as the
Yeah.
example. I'll say, well, I work with a gentleman, and I was working with this gentleman for a while, and he did great business, but he was putting in 50 plus hours
Mm.
a week.
Mhm.
50 plus,
Mhm.
50 was probably on the low end.
Yeah.
And so I tell him that, and I tell him, the cold calling that he does, and the
Yes.
not door knocking that he
Right.
does,
Right.
all the non sexy
Yes.
things that
Yeah.
realtors have to do to
Yeah.
be successful.
Yeah. Behind the curtain.
Correct.
Right under the waterline.
Yeah,
The whole stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and let them come up
Yeah.
with that thought.
It's really interesting because I left corporate America 2+ years ago, 3 years ago, and now as an entrepreneur, I talk to my wife about this all the time. We feel busier in our current state
Yeah.
as we left corporate to become entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
I mean, if we get to bed before 11:30
Mm.
on a weeknight, maybe 3 nights and whatever, it doesn't happen. It's just
Mhm.
craziness
Yeah.
because you're up, you're going, and to your point, right?
Mhm.
You're doing all this work behind the scenes. You're
Mhm.
checking your leads. You're
Mhm.
making calls. You're
Yeah.
sorting things out. You're returning calls to whoever.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work.
It absolutely
The
is.
commitment's got to be there.
Exactly, and that goes back to that passion piece. How bad do you want it? Is this is something that you really want to do
Right.
or not? In my example of getting into this world,
Hmm.
I mean, I was making really. I come from the mortgage space. I was in mortgage sales, and I was pretty good at it. Made good money, but selling a loan, a mortgage loan, is much different than selling a coaching package.
Yeah.
It's apples and
Right.
oranges, or
Right.
getting a paid speaking gig.
Right.
It's a totally different vibe. And I did not know how hard that was going to be. So because of that, when you start a business, as you guys probably preach to everybody starting a business, it takes a while before you start making a profit,
Right.
right?
Right.
So going back to how bad did I want it? I was delivering food. I was
Mhm.
doing odd jobs
Mhm.
that where I could do when I wasn't doing the entrepreneur stuff
Right.
to pay my bills.
Right.
And there were some times where I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting in my car crying, going,
Right.
"What am I doing?
Right.
I made all this money in the mortgage world, and now I'm in a deficit. Go back."
Yeah.
And what the thing that kept me going was regret. What I regret. Did I do everything that I could to make this work? And at the time, that was I would regret it. And
Right.
so it's just kind of crazy when you have that realization.
Mhm.
The universe opens up doors for you, and
Right.
it sure did with different things with a business coach that I hired,
Mhm.
and meeting it's called the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network, and networking with other speakers and coaches,
Mhm.
and talking with them, collabing with them, working
Right.
with them, and just not giving up.
Right. Wow.
It's a great story.
Mhm.
That's amazing. So now, uh, staying on topic with the business folks, here in the area, I'm curious about commitment. I'm curious about structure. I'm curious about everything that you do. But I want to touch a little bit about you recently did a podcast
Mhm.
with John
John Morris, yeah, from the
Morris.
Boathouse on the Bay.
And I listened to that, and I found that really intriguing because you were asking questions of him that were really insightful. What were some of the pain points you just mentioned in your own life, but he pointed out that you see common in the entrepreneur's journey? What are those, if you had to name 3 things that you see,
Well,
right,
one
that
of
are
the
tough?
one of the things that stood out to me on John Morris, he's you've met him before. He's a character. He's an
Yes,
He's
he
a
interesting
is.
guy.
legend in
Yes.
Long Beach.
Yeah, legend in Long Beach. And one thing that I asked him, like, because he started Legends, the first sports bar in the United States. He
Mhm.
started in Long Beach, which is still around. He doesn't own it anymore, but it's still around. And I asked him, when he started this, I go, well, what was your experience? Did you get experience in running a restaurant? And he goes, why would I do something stupid like that?
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
answer he gave you.
Yeah.
I was cracking up. I
Yeah,
was like,
and to his
Yeah.
point, and now I don't really recommend that
No,
for the average
agreed.
entrepreneur, especially
Totally agreed.
if you want to get into restaurants, because
Oh,
the
yeah, that's a
margins
whole
are very
different-
thin
yeah,
there.
That's a failure rate. Yeah.
But one thing though that I do agree with him on was jumping in that pool.
Mm.
The jumping in the deep end and figuring it out. I know we're going to get into it, but I'll talk about it a little
Yeah.
bit right now. Is one of the things is, when's the right time to start a business, and it's now.
Right.
There's never going to be a right time,
Right.
so you might as well jump. If it's a passion piece you want to go,
Right.
if you're going to wait for the perfect moment, it'll never come.
It's never going to come. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with that. Having people kind of paralyzed is a strong word, but in essence, they're paralyzed. They know what they want to do. They think they can work this out. They have somewhat of a plan, but they're just fearful of the unknown. And I think you're right. That advice to jump,
Mm-hmm.
because there's never a perfect time, and if you're waiting for the perfect time, it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Great quote. I didn't do this because it was easy. I did it because I thought it was easy. And sometimes that's I can do this, and then you get into the deeper waters, but then you get in, the passion comes out, and you say, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
challenging, but certainly more
Yeah.
interesting."
And entrepreneurship's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It sounds sexy at times, but there's a lot of pains in my stomach
Right.
in the middle of the night, going,
Right.
oh my, it always works out. It's funny it always works out some way or another. It works
Right.
out. It may not work out the way you want it to work out,
Right.
but something works out.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, that's what I
exactly.
like that thing you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Saying it may not be the vision you had, but there was a side door you went through you
Correct.
never would have went through had you not gone the original.
Exactly, and that, yeah, and goals. I'm really big on goals with my athletes and the business professionals.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know what you want.
Right.
You can't just walk and say, I want to be an entrepreneur. Let's be specific.
Yeah.
What does this really look like?
Right.
And really write it out on what that looks like, and then put that in your mirror every morning
Mhm.
when things are tough.
Yeah.
A reminder of why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
And those goals, I'm really big on it with the athletes, as these goals are not set in stone, right?
Right.
They're direction. It's a compass.
Right.
So what we talked about, when you go into this goal and you give it a go, not go, oh, I tried
Yeah.
it for a second.
Yeah.
But if you really gave it a go and it's just not for you,
Mhm.
that's okay.
Right.
Let's change it up.
Right. Yeah. Things evolve, I think, as a person does, right?
Yeah.
As they become more mature, as the skill sets grow, as the knowledge grows, I think their plans evolve. And when I talk to clients about their short-term, midterm, long-term
Mhm.
goals, I always tell them the long-term goal is that aspirational, but you have to put it down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to document that,
Yep.
because if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
then the short-term, midterm there's
Why are you doing it?
why are you doing it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so totally agree. I do want to talk a little bit about the quality that an entrepreneur brings to their clients, right?
Mhm.
Whether that's a product or a service versus the big box kind of thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because I know you've talked a little bit about this in the past about quality and level of service and
And
things
price
like that.
points.
Price
Yeah, I
points.
mean,
Mhm.
value and that kind of a thing.
Absolutely. So give us your takeaways on those topics.
Well, in most cases, there's a lot of competition in different things that you're doing. Most entrepreneurs aren't reinventing the wheel, right?
Right.
They're doing a service or a product that's already been done,
Right.
right? They want to do it because they feel it's a passion or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, what's going to stand you apart from anybody else? And that is yourself. So that comes into that customer service.
Mhm.
Are you going that extra mile? I saw something, a reel on Instagram the other day about there was a business person talking about Porsche dealership, right? He didn't buy the Porsche there, but he got it serviced there. And he said, "Oh, this is a great Porsche." He goes, "But your tires are a little thin. They're okay, but it being a Porsche, you might want to have it at peak conditions,
Right.
because however you drive it." And he goes, "Okay, yeah, go ahead and put the tires on." And that salesperson gave him a call the next day and goes, "Hey, how are those tires working?" He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to call that. But that's that extra little step. It's those
Right.
little things that you can do add up
Right.
to new business.
Totally
And if
agree.
you're looking that big time with entrepreneurship, if you're looking for if you do 1 plus 1 equals 2, you're in trouble,
Mm.
right? You're going to do a lot of stuff that you may not feel is giving you value, but it really is,
Right.
such as networking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Your example of the call at the day after is spot on.
Hmm.
I had I had an appliance guy come out, had an issue with my ice maker in my refrigerator. Guy was super nice, comes out, gives me a quote. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I said, great, that sounds perfect.
Hmm.
And he comes back out with a part, does all this stuff. So I called him later that day and said, "Hey man, the ice maker's not working." He goes, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you it's going to be 24 hours for the unit to reset."
Hmm.
I said, "Great. Didn't know that, but thank you for that information." So the next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, he calls me. He said, "Ken, I want to make certain that the ice maker's working
Hmm.
for you." And I was honestly surprised. He goes, "But I want to let's go to and make some ice together."
Oh,
With
great.
me on the phone, and I was going, "No, this is cool, right?" Because
Yeah.
I thought, "Hey, this thing's not working." He goes, "No. I apologize. I didn't tell you. It's going to be 24 hours till it
Yeah.
gets cold."
Yeah.
But then he calls me at 8 o'clock in the morning. He's, "Let's walk through. Let's get some ice."
Yeah.
And I just thought, no, that guy's I'm calling him back.
Exactly.
I'm calling him back.
And if you in your travels, if somebody has a similar problem, you're
I'm
giving
gonna
us
call
number.
I'm
exactly.
the
Yeah.
queen of recommendations.
Yeah.
Boy, if
Yeah.
I like somebody, some store, some business, I recommend them like crazy because it's like you want to see them succeed because you get that spontaneous satisfaction out of God, they care about me.
Mhm.
Right.
No, that's key.
I don't think entrepreneurs realize, maybe they do, but those gestures, those simple acts,
Mhm.
right, where you spend 2 minutes of your time calling somebody back or sending them an email or doing this or doing that or thanking them again for their business. I think those are so monumental. And they're just great gestures
Mhm.
for people to see how your character, because people buy from who they trust,
Exactly.
right?
No, like and trust is key.
And it's
Right.
also just that positive
Mhm.
feeling.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone has had that negative interaction with a business and like, I'm never going there
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part is maybe it's somebody you works for you or something, but has, a negative experience and the whole business can be shadowed by that comment. So that's why I always,
Absolutely.
for the entrepreneur to call back, oversee,
Mhm.
make sure you connect, even if you're not connecting directly, to do a follow up.
And the client doesn't want to feel like a dollar sign.
Right.
And if you do something like that, a kind gesture, then you humanize the process. You humanize that business.
Right.
And I think that goes so far, especially now. I know
Mhm.
we want to touch on it with automation, and
Mhm.
people more and more are going to be craving that human experience
Right.
because we're losing it.
Right.
Oh, I think that is the AI thing. I mean, I walk into some places and there's an iPad. There's no person.
Hmm.
And you do all your login and
Yeah.
and it's all this and I prefer not to go to those places.
Yeah.
I am now at the point I will look for a human interaction
Hmm.
as part of the process.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get into it. AI
Hmm.
and the guest experience
Mhm.
and small business thoughts.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
I think it's changing the way we do business. It's so much more efficient. There's things that I do now that take me minutes
Mhm.
where it used to take me hours to do, and I think that is a beautiful thing. I don't
Right.
think and there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
I think the here's the deal here. All throughout our history,
Mhm.
technology has come up, and people fear it, and time and time again, it's been more beneficial than
Than
not.
Right.
And I feel like that's the same here with AI. Yes, Is there going to be jobs that are going to be taken away? Absolutely. That is reality of it.
Mhm.
But think about this. There is jobs that are going to be opened up that we even thought about
Right.
because of AI.
Right. Agreed.
And that is where we need to go with it. So what we need to do is, instead of being forceful of it and stop it, it's happening,
Mhm.
embrace it.
Mhm.
How can it help you?
Mhm.
And what can you learn about it? What skills can you learn about AI that might make you more hireable than other people?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree.
Point.
I think that the it kind of goes back to that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I feel like I can't, I don't understand it,
Mm-hmm.
it's something I can't overcome.
Yeah.
Again, the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, let's break this down.
Mm-hmm.
What it's a tool.
Yeah.
If I understand the tool, like an Excel,
Mm-hmm.
with formulas,
Yeah.
then I can certainly, do things better. I mean,
Yeah.
understand prompts, understand prompt writing, understand what the various platforms do for me given the
Now the
task.
AI will do the Excel for you.
Right, exactly. And so I think that those it is a mindset, and I think that if it's as a small business owner, an entrepreneur, we really need to kind of embrace that technology. And I agree, it's part of our ecosystem. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of our growth pattern.
Yeah.
You know, remember when we didn't have CRMs, formal
Mm-hmm.
CRMs
Yeah.
back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Index cards and this and
Yeah.
that, and writing stuff on
Yeah.
logs and things. And now we have these automations. So I think AI is a great tool if,
Mm-hmm.
if people understand it and they're and
Mm-hmm.
they're applying it.
Yeah,
And it's
especially if you're a solopreneur.
right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tasks that you would have to hire somebody to do
Mm-hmm.
that you don't need to do that anymore. AI can do it for you, and
Mm-hmm.
so in a sense saves you money
And time.
and
Yeah,
time.
for sure,
Time for
right?
sure. Time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
So I want to just touch base on, because you've got a lot of content out there. Which part of the business takes more time for you right now, as far as content creation goes? Is it the call to action? Is it the podcasting? Is it the speaking? What do you like, and what takes more time, and what would you do more of? Like to do more of?
What's the most effective?
Yeah.
I think that that just depends on the week.
Okay.
What's going
Well,
on?
it's interesting because that's the idea of, you have to juggle a lot of balls to see what,
Yes.
Yeah.
and if they're all kind of working, then they work better in concert.
Yeah.
So if you let this go, you're going to lose something, even though that might not be the brightest part of your ecosystem.
Yeah. I think when it comes to content creation, for me, again, I'm not looking at it as 1 + 1 = 2, right? I'm
Right.
looking at it as, a lot of times it's more of a resume piece for me, meaning like when I have a potential client,
Right. Right.
I have a call with them, they
Right.
check me out,
Right.
right?
Right.
And they're looking at all my content.
There's so much that's Okay.
Looking at the value I'm bringing.
Yeah.
And, oh man, this guy is on the ball. He's doing this and this and that. Okay, well then he probably can help me.
Right.
Well, it creates an authority.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Who you are.
exactly correct.
Exactly. I think that, as far as, if you want to ask me like what brings in the most business for me, I would say is workshops.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's everything in a
Yeah.
nutshell too,
Mhm.
because that's contact, networking, exchanging information,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. What I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
And just being a mentor and talking to startups and small businesses, their most important barrier to entry always seems to be creating content, and they're always trying to understand. And it has to be something that's completely organic, something you know about, something you want to talk about, and something that applies. How would you advise a person new in a business how to kind of master, or at least try to, put your arms around a content strategy?
Well, before I answer that question, what age are we talking there? Because the older generation has a little bit harder
Well, that's a
time with
good
that.
point. Yeah, they're
The
like
younger
almost
generation
clueless. Yeah.
is a little bit
Yeah.
has a little bit easier time with that because they grew up with
Right.
that, right?
Well, that's true. Most of a lot of the mentoring I do is for older people who've leaving a job. They have the dream, as we've been talking about, and it's always that content creation.
Yeah.
Barrier for them in a lot of ways, and yet that I keep emphasizing, probably the most important coming out party as they're launching a business, right? Of who
Yeah.
they are and what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, any advice for how to wrestle with a seven-headed hydra to do an Odyssey thing?
Yes, the advice I would give to that person is have fun with it.
Mm.
Please have fun with it. Don't make it so serious and
Yeah.
have fun. Enjoy yourself with it, because I got to tell you, the ones that I have more fun on, or I see the joking side, that actually gets more buzz than the serious stuff I do.
Yeah.
And so while they're doing the journey, don't worry about the gaffes. Like
Right.
like I always tell them, do a live. That way you can't overthink it. You just gotta roll with
I
it.
love that. That's a
And
great idea.
because when you do when you're doing a video and you could stop it,
Yeah.
you can do that 5,000 times. Believe
Right.
me, that I've done that, and I got out of it by doing lives
Okay.
and just rolling with the mistake.
Got it.
And sometimes that's the most compelling content
Mm-hmm.
because you are recognizing the spontaneity
Yeah.
of the video or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you're more, I don't know, vested.
And I would agree. Like, sometimes when I'm listening to podcasts that are too produced, it takes away
Right.
kind of that. It makes it kind of vanilla and boring. And sometimes leaving in those gaffes a little bit actually brings a little bit of flavor to the podcast or to the content that you're
Agreed.
creating.
And personality.
And that's probably number one.
Exactly. So we are getting to the time we're gonna wrap this baby up, but just to review for our listeners,
Mhm.
the takeaways that you provided, they were three. There were three of them.
Mhm.
What were they again? Just so I remember.
Well,
So-
time management, which is my critical.
Yeah. So basically, the time is now. When you're building a business, the time is now. I get it. There needs to be planning, and I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I'm talking about the point where, I'm sure people come to you all the time and they say, when should I start? Well, now,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to do it? Now, do it. Because there's just time's going to go by. You jump in the deep end and swim. Things will figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. Also, the entrepreneurship.
Right.
I think that we want to talk about that is, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's
Yeah.
not a 9-to-5 job. You don't get a coffee break, 2 hours into your shift. It's just,
Yeah, I love that.
And if you take,
yeah.
time off, it could be a disaster.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
exactly.
And I'm not saying that you can't take time off as an entrepreneur. I think you should.
Right.
You do have some freedoms, and that's fine. Take advantage of freedoms. I don't think that, believe me, I don't feel like you should feel guilty of taking time off. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think you need it.
Right.
Because sometimes when you're working these long hours, you're not firing, and you're not creative.
You need that.
You need that
You need a
rest. You need
break.
that break, and you come back to it. All of a sudden, you're
Rejuvenate
firing.
a little bit, yep.
Yeah, exactly. So taking time off is not a bad thing, but I just don't want people that want to get into entrepreneurship to think that, oh man, I'm going to work 5 hours a week and make it work. Maybe you can.
Yeah.
There's people that can do it, but it's a
Good luck.
very small percentage that can make that happen. And the third is the quality of service that you provide. Like we talked about before, a lot of times we're doing a entrepreneur business that a lot of other people have done,
Mhm.
right? And it can be very competitive. So what are you bringing to the table that's different? And what's different is yourself. What is the service you're providing? What quality are you giving them? Are you going that extra mile? Because that does set you apart, and that will get you business.
Agreed.
That's a good wrap up.
That is. Paul, thank you very much for being here. We really, really appreciate you coming out, spending time with us, spending time on the show here. Thank you.
I had fun, guys. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
It was fun. All right. Till next time.
Yes, till next time. So thank you everybody for listening, watching. You'll find us on YouTube. Also check Paul out because he's got a lot of handles we'll be posting in the show notes. Until next time, we're out. See you.
Take care.
Bye.